6 months ago, I told you these two were my main planner system for 2026. The reality is, these are not even in my lineup today. In the Japanese planning community, there is something they call the Techo Kaigi. That just basically means a planner meeting. And a lot of times it's with yourself, but as the internet has evolved, we start doing it on video, just like this one today. Typically done at the end of the year or beginning of a new year when new planners kind of come into place and we're setting up our lineups for the year. But a lot of people start doing kind of a mid-year version, and that's exactly what I want to do with you today. So here's what I changed in 2026, what made the cut, what didn't make the cut, and some of the things going forward in the second half of 2026. And I'm really hoping this sticks into 2027 because I think I've really found a great balance between the flexibility of, let's say, something like the MeePlus and the rigidity of a bound planner like the Traveler's Notebook. For some context, Techo Kaigi doesn't really mean you're basically throwing everything outboard every year or every 6 months. It just really means looking at the setup, the planner lineup you have right now, and making sure it's actually fulfilling the purpose you set out to have when you first selected it, when you first started using it. So I'm taking this opportunity to look at my notebooks, look at my setup, and understand if this is the planner lineup, the journal lineup, and anything related to my analog system that I want to carry for the second half of 2026. Is there anything I want to change? Anything new that has come out that maybe solves an issue that I had with a different notebook? That's what I'll be talking about here today. The one question really decides whether a tool stays in my lineup or gets cut. Is it serving the purpose that I want right now? And the reality is these two, while they're great, they were not fulfilling the needs I had at the time. That's where this new lineup came into be. The Traveler's Notebook in regular size, the Paper Republic pocket size with field notes inserts, and the new addition, the MeePlus Slim Pad in the personal size. While there's a few things that change here, the bones have stayed mostly consistent. I did stop using the Sterling Ink planners, which I have the monthly here and the weekly as well, but the planning system itself has stayed very consistent. The field notes, still my catch-all. I keep it in this Paper Republic cover. I like the patina, the green cover really brings me a lot of joy, and I like that I can fit a couple notebooks, the pen here on the side, and everything stays in kind of one clean package and protected. I keep it in my pocket a lot of times, but these can just fit really easily in any sling or anything else I may have. The Traveler's Company is kind of my long form journal. I capture anything that comes to mind, whether it be anything that I'm thinking about. I'm not going to open it here because it's a little personal. I don't want to show any information there, but I do keep a second insert, which is the Traveler's Company paper release insert with just a bunch of stickers. Just I'm using them with my journal and I'm making good use of them. I do keep a couple note cards here. So I'm journaling prompts and review prompts to kind of sometimes help me with maybe mental blocking or anything that I may have. And that has served me well because it allows me to keep the journaling going and stay fresh. I do have a couple new pens here. These are 2 new Canklings that were sent to me, but I'm going to review those in a future. A lot of people like to carry one notebook for everything. I've tried that. I've gone overboard. I had too many notebooks, but I think I finally found a sweet spot of the things that really matter to me. So the field notes carries kind of day-to-day things, any tasks, any lists that need to be reference on a daily basis. I'm starting doing what people call the captain's log. So events during the day, sometimes even a few workouts that I want to note. I put them in here. But again, it's just simple, just text, nothing fancy, one pen, one color, and that gets me through the day. I do have a second field notes here that I call kind of my collection. Sometimes if I need to reference something a little more long-term, I like to keep it there. And it just allows me to, again, be a little more flexible and mobile with these notebooks since they don't really last very long. And I'm able to just keep a few notes. Like I have some stationery ones and some things that I've gotten in the past. I got some devotions that I want to keep handy. I started doing maybe some home maintenance just to make sure I'm not missing anything. and a TBR here at the front. So still pretty fresh. I've been carrying for a couple months, and it just allows me to again have those lists a little more long term. One of the biggest changes this year was the MeePlus, and this one was sent to me by them. Very grateful to have received the planner, and has changed honestly a lot of the things that I like to do with my planning system. One of my biggest, again, I don't want to say pet peeves, but some of the things that I struggled the most with was not being able to move things around as things change, or if I'm setting up a spread, how many pages do I leave for this list or project or whatever. So these really solved a lot of these issues. And I even started creating some of my own inserts, which has been a lot of fun and has helped me start solving some of those problems that I have with layouts, the systems that sometimes come in bound planners and we're stuck with that one system. So as you can see here, there's a few things that I've changed. I've played with some layouts. So the folding weekly layout, which I showed before, I've been testing now a kind of tri-fold, which has worked great because now I have a little more space, but still get the compactness of this size of notebook. Again, some lists, some tasks. I'm going to be transferring my written list over here and starting some other lists there as well there. And then back here, this is all kind of work, notes, projects, anything. So I'm going to keep that closed right now, but I'm able to just have a lot of information here that I couldn't on a regular planner just because I was stuck with kind of that chronological order of pages. And this allows me to move things around. So this has worked wonderful for my planner, and that is exactly why I wanted to buy one of these. But thankfully, MeePlus sent these for free, and I was very grateful for that. Obviously, all my opinions are my own, and so far it has served the exact purpose I was looking to fulfill. And along those same lines, I wanted to use my fountain pens a little more. I really enjoy writing with them, and I know in the past I've talked about some of the ones that I carry here in my Lockbee Quattro, which in itself has changed quite a bit since that original video came out about 6 months ago. But the Vanishing Point has, and I got it for this exact reason, allowed me to use fountain pens on more things than your regular fountain pen. The unscrewing, while it feels nice and makes it more of a ritual, sometimes can get hard to deal with when you're just writing a couple words. So the Vanishing Point is what I carry with me. Simple click and you're ready to write, and allows me just to, again, have everything in one package. With this notebook, I'm not to worry about different colors or different pens and pencils and all that. I have the Vanishing Point, and this serves the purpose exactly as intended. Another thing about these check-ins is obviously now I have about 6 months of experience doing all of these. So I'm reflecting on what I've learned, some of the things that happened. So that's exactly what I'm doing this mid-year check-in, is that reflection and the things that are great in the system, obviously not my own doing, or the tools that maybe I failed to use frequently. If it wasn't serving the purpose I wanted, now I have something that it is, and I'm enjoying it, and I'm doing good use of it. So when I got this MeePlus about, I want to say a month or two ago, I was just testing and seeing if it was going to fit the need that I had. And honestly, I'm running everything here now. Again, like I showed you the monthly, the weekly, any notes that are related to work, any tasks, and any kind of long-term list, things I'm tracking, that all lives in here and has become a key part of my list. Like I was saying, these are the two kind of notebook systems that I cut this year. Not fully. I'm still planning on using them for something else because they're fantastic products, but they haven't been serving the kind of core system, which is what I just showed you here. The Lockbee Mini Field Journal and the Lockbee Burger were my covers. They're great covers. But again, once this MeePlus came to my system, and the way I'm able to move things around has really become the core of my planning. Again, I do enjoy and I love the Sterling Ink planners. I think they're fantastic products. They just were not serving the purpose I wanted. I think I could have stuck with the monthly, but the weekly was starting to feel a little stale, which I don't like. And one of the reasons the rings has worked well is I'm able to create my own inserts I'm able to print them and change them every week if I need to. So I have a trifold here, like I showed you. I have a bifold here, like I showed you. And that really helps me stay kind of motivated to plan the next week, which at the end of the day, that's the most important part. So there you have it. That's what I'm using in the second half of 2026. A notebook that stays with me, kind of my catch-all pocket notebook where I write everything down, kind of keep the captain's log. Has helped a lot with kind of my ADHD and some of the things that I tend to forget. If I'm writing things down, I usually put a timestamp that allows me to kind of reflect on it when I come back. Sometimes I'm expanding and journal a little more than just a simple line, but allows me to have something that I can write on at all times and keep my task, anything I need to remember short term that lives in here. Then we have the planner. This is the one that has been a game changer for me in 2026. Being able to organize pages, move them around. The paper is fantastic. Form factor is just right. I thought it was going to be a little small when I first got it, but it has proven to be exactly the perfect size because I'm able to carry with me a lot more. And that means I'm planning more on the go, which is something I've been enjoying. And lastly, one that again has been with me since the inception of this channel, even before that, is the Traveler's Notebook in the regular size. I always usually keep it with a 2 pens right there. I've been changing things up with these 2 fountain pens more than a feature video, but this one again, the bound notebook inside for journaling. I don't mind it because I want that to be chronological and I move from page to page. So that has been a staple of my system and it's going to be, again, for the foreseeable future. I'm going to try to link as much of these in the description below. But let me know in the comments below, what are the systems you have for the second half of 2026? Have you even started looking at planners and notebooks for 2027? I'm curious to hear kind of what your Techo Kaigi looks like in the comments below. I love reading all the comments and I really appreciate the suggestions and new insights that all of you provide. Thanks so much for watching and I'll talk to you in the next one.